Welcome to the Absolute Mom Sense Podcast. All right. Okay, so today I want to talk about mom guilt. Here it comes.
I have none.
None? Mom guilt and mom shaming. There you go.
I'm definitely a shamer.
There you go.
I'm a judger.
There it is. Okay. This is going to be fun. Okay. So, mom guilt and mom shaming, I feel like are kind of the same thing because I feel like mom guilt comes from mom shaming. Because in a way, I mean, everybody does it. Everyone mom shames because you all have this idea of the way that parenting or momming should be done.
Right.
For yourself and for other people.
Yeah.
So I feel like that you mom shame yourself too, or just as much or more than you do to other moms.
Yeah.
Because it's like you have all these expectations that most of them that you're putting on yourself. Nobody ever said you had to do things or that it had to be done a certain way, but it's this idea in your mind of how to be a mom or how you feel like that you're expected to be a mom, whether it's the way that your mom was, society, friends, family members, cousins, aunts, uncles, whatever, or even like Instagram moms. Yeah. And you see things and you just have this idea or this vision of what momming should be. Yeah. So then you have these expectations that you put on yourself. Then, anytime you don't perform, you mom shame yourself. Oh, I should have done this better. I could have done that better. I would have if this, blah, 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 blah. It's
constant.
It's constant. And so then at the end of the day, I swear, you go through the list of things in your head of all the things you did wrong today.
You really do.
And it's just like the guilt hits.
Yeah.
Most of the time it doesn't hit in the moment because you're so like... But then that's part of the mom guilt too.
I feel like I justify myself in the moment too. Well, listen, this and this.
I know. And then after they're all put to bed, that's when I go through my checklist and I'm like, oh, I'm such a bad mom because da, 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 da. And then I feel bad and then I'm mom shaming myself and then I feel the mom guilt and it's just like, I'm such a bad mom. Right?
I feel like I have both kind of days. There's a lot of days that I'm like, I
did a good job.
Did you see what I did today?
I know.
Like, I don't know. I just amaze myself.
Maybe, like, I don't know. Because
I have
feel
different
like I have days like that, too.
Yeah.
But some reason, I can always find something that I did wrong.
Well, I feel like as I used to be that way, but as I've gotten more seasoned in my motherhood, then I really do. I'm like, you know what? This is amazing what I'm doing. Like this family that we're raising and these like humans that you're keeping alive and doing how much we're doing for them. Yeah. I feel like I am learning to find beauty in every single thing, in the chill, messy days, in the days that you just did perfect and your meals were great and you guys went out and did your outings and like even the variety days. Like I really do feel like I am learning to find like the beauty in all of it. And screw all the other mom shamers. Like I feel like my biggest influence and the things I care about the most is always from my mom. It's how I feel like those expectations are and how I was raised. The rest of it, I'm like, you do you. Like literally let it go. Because I used to like judge moms. Yeah. And then it happens too. And you're like, I see how that could happen. And then I feel like you start talking to yourself like, maybe I shouldn't judge so harshly on everybody else. I
will say that. I feel like that I used to be a really bad mom shamer. Like really bad. Where I would see things and I would just constantly be like, well, I would never. How could you ever? And I don't understand how anybody could be in this situation ever. And then life happens and you find yourself in the same situations or very similar situations or even something completely different. But then also like really not a good situation. And so then you're like, I can see now how something like that could happen. Yeah. And it's already hard enough on the mom. She already is putting it on herself. Yeah. Like she knows. She's well aware. Every single time.
For the most part.
Yeah. But, I mean, even still, there are moms that know, but then maybe will never admit it or just don't care. Yeah. So, I mean, you get that too. Yeah. But it's like most of the time, those moms are trying just as hard as you are. And they know where they're falling short.
Yeah, everybody has their strengths. So
exactly.
I like my sister, she's like awesome in like the artistic, like creative, like even outings and stuff. I am not.
That's not me.
I'm not that kind of a mom, but I'm like thrive where you thrive where you
Exactly.
can. Like, take it.
Exactly. But then, like, because she's already feeling it herself, like, she doesn't need you to
She
go and
doesn't need
tell you. You know what I mean?
For the most part. I still have those few moms. I'm like, literally, you could do better. Like, you could, I feel like it's almost like a victim playing game or something.
Yeah.
There are some moms that you're like,
But that's like almost
they
like
complain.
a narcissistic type
yeah,
of
it's
person.
personality. So maybe they are doing their best.
Right?
Maybe they really are.
I'm just saying, because usually if they are that way, it really is like,
Something going on.
Something's off or something. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Because normally moms are they're pretty aware, right? There's a difference. When some moms will come up to you and be like, how do you do this? They're not asking you to be like, oh, here's all the things that you're doing wrong. That's not what they asked. Yeah. But they're saying they like really want to know, how do you do it?
Yeah.
And so that's when you can start to talk and you can be like, okay, try this, try that. But unless they've come to you and said, how do you do this? It's not the time to go and be like, oh, do you want me to tell you how to have clean kids? Like, it's just
not going to go well. It's
just
hurtful.
not. It's very hurtful. And
mind your own business.
Exactly. Even if they are like needed in a bath or whatever, most of the time the mom already knows.
Yeah.
She already knows. Yeah. There have been some times where I've like bathed mom's kids for them and then sent them home.
Made them smell good. Like, did you notice?
And most of the time the moms are like, thank you so much. This and this and this have been going on. And you had no idea. You had no idea that that's why they didn't have time. And you're like, oh, I'm sorry, because you made those judgments in your mind where, like, really you couldn't take 5 minutes to bath your kid. Yeah. And then they tell you and you're like, oh, you really couldn't.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I'm glad I helped you out. That's the type of thing that it should be like, right? Where you just do things like that. I've also seen moms who will, like, see somebody who looks like they're struggling, and instead of going and being like, oh, did you see that, mom? Or maybe she needed the right type of thing, then they would make a meal and then take it over to her house.
If you see someone struggling, why? I think it's easy to get caught up in that, like, gossipy stuff. Like, be the person that's like, what we could help them.
What can you do? Exactly.
Get your friends
and
together,
the
go do
mom
something.
obviously is embarrassed because that's how it is, and she's stressed out and she's not having a good time. All she needs is somebody who's there. And this mom, who I know, she went and dropped off a basket of goodies and everything, knocked on the door and ran. She didn't even try to stop and talk to her or be like, here, I thought you might need this type of thing, because that's
kind of judgy too.
Exactly. It's like a different thing. But if the mom walks out there and there's just food there, it's a lot easier to accept it when you don't know who it came from, because then you don't feel the judgment coming back. It's just, wow, somebody out there cares. Somebody out there noticed that I needed help. And they were there for me. And that's all they needed in that moment. They didn't need somebody's face being like, here, I wanted to help you out because I saw you struggling. Right? Exactly. We all have our moments. We all have our moments. There are days and times in my life where I'm like, I got it. And then other times where I'm like, what? Right?
Little Caesars.
Exactly. And you're just like,
every Monday night.
I don't even know what to do anymore.
You just let it go.
Exactly. And it makes it 10 times harder when people know this. Like when they notice. So I'm just saying, like, be the type of mom or mom group where you see people and you're right there. You're right there to help them. Whether it's just being like, hey, let's go out for a girls' night. Right? Even something like that can be so uplifting to moms, to just be like, oh, there, take a break, and like somebody cares. Somebody notices. Just being there, even if it's like a note. Because I think like of myself in situations where I'm low like that, a note is enough to make me keep going. It doesn't have to be a big
small,
meal and a big like extravagant gift. That's not really what you're looking for. It's just somebody is there. Yep. And even if you didn't know who it was just like, oh, wow, somebody cares. Oh, good. So
I'm making a point even like on Instagram to like start even reaching out and being like, commenting. It makes you feel good when people even like something that kind of
when
small.
they notice. Yeah, exactly. And especially like if they post pictures of like momming or life or something like that, just being like, wow, like you're amazing,
cute kids,
look at how good you're doing.
Yeah,
it just boosts and it
really
helps
does.
And even if you're just like, wow, you look amazing, or your kids look so cute, or that looks so fun, or something like that, that's just uplifting. Because if they're posting, they want somebody to notice, obviously.
You're looking for some likes.
You're looking for something. They won't admit it.
Yeah.
But you are looking for some sort of something.
Yeah.
So even just stepping outside of yourself, because I feel like that, like, mom shaming is a really selfish thing. You might think that you're trying to help that person by pointing out all their flaws or whatever, but it's like a really selfish thing. If you really wanted to help that person, then you would go and help them. Yeah. Right?
Yep. What is your comments, like, literally, what does the comment do for them?
It doesn't.
It only brings them lower. It only makes them feel like, feel it even deeper. Like, you don't need to do that.
You don't. Yeah. And it does not in the least motivate them. I'm just saying. All.
They're just going to go home and cry.
Yep. And then they're not going to do any better. They're just going to tell themselves that they just can't.
Yeah.
Because
everybody else thinks that they can't.
Yep.
Yeah.
So get out of your own self.
I think even like I'm saying, like on the Instagram post, so like even like reaching out, like you pass somebody, there's been times where I felt it, like I was almost in tears walking through a community, and like somebody reaches out and they're like, I like your skirt. And I'm like, what? Like, they must know that I need something, you know?
Yeah.
They must see that just the smallest compliment, like when you notice something, like say the good things.
Exactly.
Hey, like you got your hands full, like you're amazing. Like, look at you. Look what you're doing every single day. Like, look, you got a stroller and a diaper bag and a toddler hanging on right here.
And they're
like,
also happy.
You're doing so good.
Look.
Or even if they're not happy and you showed up and you're still there.
Yeah.
Like, you're still
It
like,
really
what?
is. It's like, wow, you are a champ.
Yeah.
For even trying. And I will say, like, as the mom, when you're struggling and somebody notices and says something nice, not negative, you remember it for a long time.
Yeah.
And you just, like, anytime you see that person, it's just like, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Like, you made life easier. You made life better.
And you always smile at them when you pass.
And
like,
you feel like that now there's like a connection between you and that person. Even if they didn't even like realize and they just were like, oh, hey, I like that.
Yeah.
It's like, we're best friends.
We are. Feel it.
It helps so much. The other thing that I would say is on the guilting yourself is, it seems like as a new mom or a newer mom, like you were saying, you kind of do that to yourself a lot more versus later on in life when you realize how good you really are doing.
Yeah. And the things that really do matter too, though. Right,
exactly. Yeah. The expectations that you do have on yourself change, I guess.
It has for me.
They kind of have to, though, because it's like, are you alive? Right? Sometimes
did you get your protein today? We did good then.
Exactly. So it's like the things that truly matter start to become your expectations, and the things that it's like, is the house clean today? Maybe not, but are we going to die because it's not clean? We'll be all right today.
Yeah.
It'll be all right. We'll try again tomorrow. And at the end of each day, like I was saying, when I have my list of things that I'm like, I'm such a bad mom, I feel like that in some ways for me and my own personality, I like to go through my list and be like, oh, I should have done this. I should have done this. I should have done this. I should have done this better. And then I have a list to start the next day with. So in the moment, then I sit there and I'm like, oh, I'm such a bad mom. I feel so bad. And then it's like, oh, well, I'm trying it again tomorrow.
Right.
I'm going to do better tomorrow.
Right.
And so I feel the motivation, even though it sucked that I didn't do it today. It's okay. It's over. It's done. We're moving on. I can't go back and change it.
It's
so
fixable.
It is what it is. So then tomorrow is a new day. And I have a list of things that I'm going to watch on. And most of the time it's like, well, I didn't spend enough time with this kid. Or maybe this kid was crying a lot and I just didn't notice it at the time. And I just passed him up every single time that I should have given him a hug.
Yeah.
Right? And so then those are the type of things that it gets you as a mom. At least for me, then I'm like, okay, tomorrow I'm going to make an extra effort to notice anytime somebody gets hurt, and I'm going to slow down and I'm going to give them a hug. Or next time I'm going to spend some time with this kid and we're just going to talk because I feel like I don't know them anymore. Yeah. Right? And it's just this type of thing. And you realize most of the time it's not as bad as you thought it was in the moment.
It's not. So then, and you get like some of the moms that sit there and go through their lists and they just like kind of feel bad for themselves and almost like pout a little bit. Yeah. Instead of like get in the right mentality and like you're saying, do better tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
It's okay. It is okay to like, I think, to be real with yourself and be like, I kind of sucked in these areas today. Instead of being victim and like, well, I couldn't do it because of all this. Like, get in and just do better.
Yeah.
Just do better tomorrow. Put in the effort. And I think, notice how you feel when you had a productive, good day. You feel way better.
And let that be your motivation to start your next day. Yep. Instead of letting it drain you, just knowing that it's possible and knowing that it, like that you can do it, but that you don't have to like tear yourself down over every little thing.
You really don't.
Not that big of a deal.
I really do feel like, honestly, I feel like every day I do my best. And that's what you're saying on the mom judging.
Yeah.
Like it might be different levels of these moms that are great in this area and not like maybe areas that you don't see. Maybe they have the sweetest kids, but they're not like the perfect hair. So everybody has like their strengths. I'm a lot easier on myself because I'm like, I did try to, like today it was just every day I find success.
I like that you say that you try your best, because for me then I'm like some days my best is here, some days my best is here, but I did my best.
But having like a healthy both mentality days. To be like, I need to take a little, they're literally like, and
that's okay.
3 days ago, I don't know what happened to me, but like I slept I think it was Sunday actually, got home from church and I literally went to bed and I just slept, and I haven't done that in a long time, and I'm like, I didn't feel bad about it. I'm like, I probably needed that. Maybe I saved myself from like a sickness coming on or something. So I really do feel like everybody, for the most part, is trying their best for real though. I know I try my best.
I know, exactly.
I'm so tired.
But I will say the days that my best is here and the days that my best are here, best is here, and somebody says something, I'm like,
try it.
Shut up. Yesterday. Okay. Like, don't you say
there will
anything.
Be a full-on meltdown. If something gets said to me when I'm down here, I'm going to be like, I will lose it. Like, are you ready for all the things I did? Because I got them listed. Exactly. Do you want to know what my, like, low point? Like, compare our lists, y'all.
I know.
Men.
Men.
Should we compare the lists?
That's what I'm saying, though, is because it's like, it's like you were doing so well. For me, it's one of those things where I'm like, I already know. If you tell me it, I'm going to be mad that you told me because I already know.
But what do you already know? That's what I don't get. Like, why? What do you already know?
I already know that I messed up.
I don't find it as a mess up.
Like, I don't need you to tell me. I already know.
Maybe the kids messed up. And pushed you that far.
I'm just saying, okay, so
I
like
just put the blame everywhere else. Like, this is your fault that I am this way.
At the end of the day, say we watch TV all day. Like, I already know. But what do you already know?
Because for me, I'm like, you know, the kids needed a break today. I didn't send my kid to summer school to say he needed a break. I don't feel like a bad mom. I'm like, no, I'm a good mom because he literally needed a break. I'm a good mom.
Let's just be like Tia.
No, I think it's a healthy mindset though. Like I really do feel like I've gotten like healthy mentally after I recovered from all of the trauma I've been through of this mom life. But I feel like it's a healthier mindset and it's healthier for your kids and healthier for your kids to see that you're not trying to be a perfectionist on the parts people can't see. just kidding.
When somebody can see it, then you can be a perfectionist.
Yeah.
Okay, so as far as like moments that I feel like I got the most mom guilt, it's funny because in the moments, then I remember it and I'm like, I'm never going to forget this. I cannot believe I just messed up this bad. It's so awful. And then I forget. So it's like, it's fine. It never happened. The most recent, the latest one that we did is when we went to Disneyland. I, being pregnant, can't go on all the rides. I also haven't been since I was like 10. And that's like almost 20 years ago.
It's not that long.
This is so long ago. I'm so old.
So old. Oh my god.
So then I haven't been there in so long. It's different. Like the entire park, it's just a different place. And so they have new rides, they have new things going on. They have this new app that's really cool that can like schedule you out your thing. I got the Genie Plus, so I'm like booking the rides that I know that I'm going to want to ride for my kids because I can't ride them. But it's all the ones with like the really long wait.
Right.
So they must be good rides, right? And then there's like a minimum height required. And so I'm like, okay, anybody who meets this height, go on the ride because it's a fun one. Everybody wants to go on it. Look, see?
Yeah.
It shows you. So
I know where this is going.
I do that. I sent him with Dad because obviously I can't go. I don't know what the ride does. I have absolutely no idea what the ride does. So we're at the park and we go on the first ride while we're waiting for our, reservation for the cool ride. Then we go on a couple of little kiddie rides and I'm like, oh, this is so cute. This is so fun. You guys are having so much fun. This is great. And then the big ride comes and I'm like, okay, everyone go. Ava, Jaslyn, Atticus. That's who all could go. So I send him off. And Wade tells me that this ride that I just sent all my kids on,
they trusted you with.
They trusted me. And I said, no, it's going to be great. Because you meet the height requirements. So obviously it's fine.
Oh, no.
So then I have Ava, who's 9, Jaslyn, who's 8, Atticus, who's 6. And I sent them on this ride. And it's basically the rocket that goes like this.
Oh, no.
And drops them so fast that they're like, I flew off the seat and hit the lap bar or whatever, right?
Yeah. Oh man, I can't do it. Mm-mm.
And Atticus, 6-year-old little boy, I said,
Oh no,
he already is like terrified of things like this.
No,
So, and like I still have no idea what happened, right? He comes back and he's just silent. He doesn't say anything.
He almost just died.
Exactly. So I'm like asking my girls, how was it? They're like, it was so scary. Why did we go on that ride? And I'm like, it wasn't fun? What? That's so weird. And then I kept doing it.
Terrible rides, huh?
Doing it.
Like, this one will be better.
It's not going to be like that one. But that's like the second ride that they've done the entire day.
Oh,
or
my
the entire
gosh.
thing. So
They're like
it's
traumatized from Disneyland.
They are. Like, I'm like, was it fun? After all that, was it fun? No. Do you wish that you would have went on it, or do you wish that you would have stayed off of it? He's like, I wish I didn't go on it. He's like, he's not playing around. But I'm like, isn't it so cool that you went on it, though? No.
Like, it was awful.
No, it's not fun. And then every single ride, even the little kiddie rides, then he's like, is it going to go
waiting
up?
for it.
What's going to happen? Is it going to like throw me off or something? And I'm like, I'm so sorry, dude. I should have kept him on all the kid. He's 6. Like,
I consider
what was I
like
thinking?
entertainment
Who
with your
sends
kids
a
though.
6-year-old
It's successful
on a
still.
Rocket.
My kids would go. No, I have a few that would be traumatized.
I know.
Way to go, Olivia.
I know. And I kept doing it. That's the thing that gets me, is because I'm like, I should have stopped. I should have stopped right there.
You should have done some research, okay?
I should have done my research. Anyway, so I get home and I'm like, bad mom award. Way to go. I try to make a good day out of Disneyland and I just scarred him for life. He hates it.
That's
so
funny.
There I go. And then that's the thing. I laugh because it's either I laugh or I cry.
I would for sure laugh. For sure.
I can't. I can't. Just because it's not funny. He's really terrified, right? In those moments, it's not funny.
That's okay.
You know?
That's one of my favorite things in the world. Was terrifying my kids. You've seen my video pulling
There's
through
a
the haunted
difference.
houses, and they're all like screaming, and we're like rolling on the ground laughing.
I guess
difference.
See,
Yeah.
you're mean. Though.
I am a mean.
That's mean.
Mom. Oh, I love it.
I don't
love
know.
it. Oh, you want to go to the haunted houses? You're sure. Come on,
Let's go.
I'll make sure I record this for future laughing.
I don't know. It just was one of those things that I was like, oh my gosh. Oops.
What are the things that get you the most at the end of the day? Like on a daily, like not, okay, we're not bad moms on a daily basis. I'm not saying that. But like the things that seem to recur It's still coming out wrong. Not that you're recurringly making bad mom choices, but what are the things that get you? Like, you know, you're like,
at the end of the day that I feel worse
that nag on you the most.
Yeah. I think most of the time, the ones that get me the most is when I feel like that I have been too rushy and go, and I'm snappy. And I feel like that I didn't make sure my kids knew that I loved them and was happy in the moment. Right?
So emotional needs.
So those are the things that get me the most is when I'm like I said, at the end of the day, and I'm like, I feel like I didn't spend enough time with this kid, or this kid cried 3 times and I went, shut up. Right? Yeah. And I didn't do that, but like at the end of the day, I feel like that's what I did because I was just like, all of this stuff going on around me and frazzled, and it was just like, what do you need? Why are you crying again? Yeah. And I'm like, come on. Yeah. Like, slow down and just, like, give him a hug. It's okay. Yeah. It's not that big. So those are the things that get me the most. Yeah. What about you?
Meals. I feel like nutrition is meals and sleep for me, really. I feel it's probably, like, the strengths area, too, because I do feel like I'm, like, really good at, hey, you come and help me carry, and, like, helping them on their zones and, like, their one-on-one time. Yeah. So I'm probably good at that. So maybe that's why it doesn't bug me so bad.
So in the meals and the sleep, like, that just is going to happen.
It should just happen. That's the thing is it should just happen for me. But I'm like, we had pizza tonight, and it like I just feel crappy. I'm like, they didn't get their nutritional needs today.
and see, even for me, if I have pizza one night, then I'm like, it's fine. Tomorrow we'll do better.
So I should probably be easier.
It just doesn't get me as bad as the other stuff. Yeah, the other stuff is what makes me go, oh.
What do you expect from me? Literally, I'm like, it's like, it makes me angry. What do you all expect?
What do you want? What do you want from me?
Oh, okay. I birthed you, didn't I?
You made it here. Are you alive? Okay.
It's a lot.
Okay, let's see what other moms are saying about mom guilt. This is fun.
Just be better moms, you guys. It's not hard.
So this mom is saying that she feels guilty about screen time. Now, her specific situation that she's going through, she is a working mom from home, and sometimes working, it requires using like evening hours. Okay. So then during the evening hours, sometimes she has to use the TV to babysit her kid, essentially, because she can't try to manage everything at once. And so she's like turning on a movie so that the kid can like leave her alone while she's trying to get her job done. Yeah. It makes sense, but then at the end of the day, she's clocking in like 2 or 3 hours, which to me, I'm like, you're not doing too bad. It's not too bad. But then at the same time, like, I get it. So then she feels guilty because she's like, well, what else am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to handle this? How am I supposed to manage this? But by the end of the day, this is what I did. Oops. And that's where her mom guilt is coming in, which I get. Yeah. I get both.
But there's a way to like lessen your mom guilt. You ready?
Ready.
I think that like educational, you could turn on educational, like Little House on the Prairie. I'm like, that's educational, you guys. This is their reality. Okay, this is what grandma went through. Exactly. You all have it good. Appreciate something. But I think that if instead of just being like Disney cartoons all day, like maybe you could lessen the guilt by doing something like that.
At least make it
educational or something.
To be
like we watch nature shows and I don't that's not screen time. It's not. No,
it's not the same thing.
No.
Yeah, I think that helps too. I also think if you find different activities that they like, it depends on the age of the kid, of course.
It does, because sometimes that's like safety things.
Exactly.
Like if you can't be watching them and you know that they're going to be glued to the TV, maybe that's safer than leaving them unsupervised in the house while you're locked in your office working. Exactly. Maybe that really is like, I don't know.
Yeah. But I will say, like, if it's like an older kid, getting books, they have tons of craft things. Yep. Depends on, your kid's personality. I have kids that love books. I have kids that love crafts. I have kids that love puzzles and different things like that.
Food.
That you just go and, like, prep them for the time that you have. Yep. For me, if there is a specific amount of time that I know I'm going to be needing, then I have, like, the first half of it be entertainment by themselves. And sometimes I have to put them all in different stations so that they don't bother each other. Yeah. And then stop the process. And so then it's like, okay, for this first part, then y'all are going to be entertained. For the second part, then I'll use the movie. Yeah. Because then you used only half of the screen time.
For sure.
but you got your full amount of time that you needed to be able to work.
Do you ever write schedules for them?
Yeah.
Well, I'm gone like from this time. This time you're playing cards, and then you're going to color, and then you're going to do 10 jumping jacks.
Yes, it helps. Yeah. It helps so much.
Breaks
and then
up
this
the time.
other mom who also feels guilty about screen time.
I was like, what?
she says this one I found pretty entertaining. Okay, so she's gone through like child development, so she knows how bad screen time is especially for little babies.
Don't educate yourself that way.
So she's got like a 4-month-old little baby, and she hasn't like taken time for herself the whole time. She hasn't shaved her legs in 4 months because it's just been like hectic and crazy. So she sets the baby up in front of the TV, and she goes and just pampers the heck out of herself, and for like 2 hours. But the whole time the baby's in front of the screen. And so now she's going, ugh, like, I feel really bad because I know how bad that is for my baby to sit there in front of the screen. But she's like babbling and talking the whole time, right? So it's okay. But honestly, like, every once in a while, it's like, they're going to be okay.
They'll survive it. We all look what we survived.
Exactly.
She's okay. Like, look at us.
So it's like, to me, I found this one as one of those mom guilts at the end of the day that you kind of just put this expectation on yourself. That's not necessarily something that you like really have to be. And
I feel like there's so much like fear put out there for moms. Like, you're going to mess up your kids. Like, they're going to be fine.
And it's okay.
For the most part. There's some dangerous situations going on for real.
Right. But like, and like she's saying, screen time can be dangerous, but you didn't use it all day long every single day. This is like a small portion of time. Yeah. And yeah, you needed to take care of yourself. If you don't have a babysitter that can, play with the baby then I would do that. Yeah. I would be like, hey, you want to watch a movie?
I used to put my baby, when I had one baby, I would hang his jumper in the doorway and take a bath.
Yeah. Like, I would do jumpers, I would do bouncers, and just set them up in the bathroom and just, Yep. Also, schedules. Yeah. It helps. And you get your me time, your personal time. Okay.
Because sanity really is like a safety measure.
It really is. So here's the next one. This mom says that she injured her toddler at the playground, and now she's feeling guilty about it. So she goes to the playground with her little kid, toddler age, and he's like, I want to go on the merry-go-round. So she puts him on and starts... I know.
See where it's going.
I know. So she starts running him around, and he flies off. Yep. And she's like, I don't know if he like lost his grip and something. I don't know where he hit. And then next thing she knows, he's got like a bruised up face and bloody and everywhere. And she's like... I just hurt my kid trying to play with him. So then she goes home, and her significant other's like, what were you doing?
What did you do to him?
Were you even watching him? And then she goes on the defense, and she's like, oh, yes, I was.
I did it to him. Like, what do you mean was I watching him?
Exactly. But to me, I'm like, this is that scenario where you don't say anything.
Yep.
Like, she already knows.
Yep.
You do not need to give your opinion like, oh, you should have done this better. It's like, shut up.
Don't you feel like the moms do that to the dads, like, severely, though?
Yes. Yes, that's
We're
true.
the worst on the dads. The dads do seem to have a lot more accidents.
Most of the time, though, it's like, did you honestly not think that through? It is hard not to say something.
They're not as good at, like, some of the things that the moms are good at.
They're not as good, and it's like, how did you not see that coming?
Yeah.
How did you not see that coming? Anyway, because that's the same thing. Like, I start telling you the story, and you're like, you see where this is going, right? Yep. Anyway,
again, for me, in my experienced years, I'd be like, you should have held on tighter. That's your fault. Like, live and learn, bro.
Now you're gonna always hold on. Now the kid's gonna be terrified of a merry-go-round. And it's like the ride. My kid's never gonna ride another ride again.
Yeah.
All because of me.
Darn it, you don't ever have to go to Lagoon again.
Okay.
Pull me back.
This one is mom who is feeling guilty about being a working mom. Okay. So she works outside of the home all the days of the week. So she doesn't see her kids. And then she comes home and she's with her kids. But now, since she's been working all week long and then home, she feels like she needs a break. Mm-hmm. And then everyone's like, well, you had your break all week. But then she's like, well, that's not a break because I was working. But now what? So now she's like, I feel like I'm guilty I feel guilty for wanting the break because I haven't been with them all this week or whatever. But then at the same time, if I were to get a break, I feel like I'd be a better mom. So now she's like, I feel guilty for taking a break, but I also feel guilty for not taking a break.
So,
See?
Yep, I have done both. Shortly, I worked out of the home. And for me, that was my break, was working out of the home. But I'm going to say, if you're going to take a break, take a longer lunch break and choose the kids. Take your break at work.
Yeah.
If at all possible.
I could see that.
Like, go out with your friends for lunch. Meet up with your husband for lunch. Go for a walk in the park for lunch. Get your free time during work.
Yeah.
As much, or even swap, maybe.
Both.
Yeah. Maybe swap nights that, like, okay, this time I'm going to take a break. Go out on the town with your friends that night, or like.
Exactly. Also, here's the thing. When you have your kids on a decent schedule and you're putting them to bed at night, you can go out and take a break and you don't feel guilty about it because you're not going to be with your kids anyways.
Yep.
They're already in bed. They're already asleep. So you don't feel that guilt.
Yeah.
Like when you're working outside of the home, then it's like, well, I could be with the kids right now, but instead I'm choosing to work. Or when you go out, like right after you get off work, well, I could be with the kids right now. I like what you're saying, either doing it during lunchtime so that like you're not with the kids anyways, type of thing.
Yeah.
And then also later in the evening. This is just, for me, this is what comes with becoming a mom. It's just kind of what you sign up for. This is just life now. It's not, and that's one of the things that I feel like that a lot of times moms will get caught up in, is that they are like, well, I just worked all day long and then I come home and I work all night long because I'm a mom and there's just no break. But the thing that's tripping them up is the way that they're thinking about it. It's a mental thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, yeah, you did work all day long, but now you're home. This is your break. Yeah. This is life now.
Well, you switched
you
that
chose
around. Good.
To have kids.
Yeah.
And now you're off work. This is time off. This is your break. If you think it like that, it will feel like a break.
Yeah.
You'll feel like you're off work. You'll feel like you got the break that you needed. And then when the kids are in bed, you'll feel like you're getting the me time you're wanting.
Yeah, that's different than a break, I think.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that I feel like is just different in your mentality. That's all that it is. It's just a mental way of thinking about it, is that you are telling yourself that you're constantly on, when that's not exactly what's happening. It's just life now. And it's not going to change. That's the thing, is that once you have those babies, like this is life now.
Get an ice cream cone on the way home.
Exactly. And then like make it a day.
Yeah.
Because there's times where I'm like, I feel like I need a break. And I turn it into, okay, as a family, we're taking a break.
Yeah.
We're not going to do jobs tonight.
Yeah.
We're going to go out to dinner. We're going to go to a park.
We're
going to go and do things that are a break from real life, if that makes sense.
Yep.
So I'm not like stepping away from the kids, but I do feel like I'm getting a break. Yeah. It's kind of like when I went on vacation. I brought all of my kids, and no, it's not a vacation for me, but I feel like I got a break. Yeah. Because we stepped away from real life. We didn't do our normal routine. We didn't do our normal things. We got to eat fun food. We got to be in different places and things. Yeah. And it's the mentality. It's the way you're thinking about it that it feels truly like a break for you. You come home and you feel...
Yeah, it's like the day-to-day you get so caught up in it. But an important thing, I think, is remembering that the kids need a break too. Yeah. It's like you're saying, go to the park or switch it up for the kids. That refreshes them too. Yeah. I think that's super important.
And I think when you feel it, your kids are feeling it twice too. Yeah. Right? Like if you're
go
like...
go outside and eat. Just do anything
something different so that they can feel that break too.
Then they'll give you a break. Yeah. They really
will. It helps. This one is probably my favorite story. So this one is about a mom who her son is like in kindergarten, and it's so fun, it's so cute, and he's getting ready to do his graduation. So the last 2 weeks of school leading up to it, then he's been memorizing this song to sing at the graduation, and he's so excited about it. He's talking to his mom about it. They're all so excited. So the mom is telling her extended family, hey, come in from out of town so that we can go to this graduation. Now she thinks it's Tuesday. So she's planning Tuesday.
Oh, boy.
And everything is being planned around Tuesday and everything. She's so excited. Then Monday, she gets a phone call from somebody at her son's school. And they're like, hey, where are ya? And she's like, what are you talking about? And they're like, the graduation, it's happening right now on Monday. Yep. And she's like, ah! So then she stops what she's doing. She packs everything up and she's like booking it, trying to get there. And as soon as they walk in, it's over. The whole thing is over, and she's missed the entire graduation, the entire awards day and everything. And her kid is like, he thinks it's funny that they've missed it all and that the mom
Oh, wait,
forgot
her
the
kid
days.
was home?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
they just didn't know,
Yeah,
right?
okay.
And so they were all home. And so he thinks it's funny that they mixed up the days.
Okay.
And that it's over now.
Yeah.
But she's like, I can't stop crying. I cannot believe I missed it. Thinking that it was the next day. This is one of those things that I'm like, that's the sickening mom guilt
Nightmare right there.
that you get that just doesn't go away. You know?
Yeah, we had Holden's birthday on a it was like Friday or Saturday. His birthday on a Friday or Saturday. And I was like, Kay, no, it must have been on a Saturday. Because I was like, Kay, we'll do your school treats on Monday, right?
Okay.
Monday rolls around and I get this phone call. Mom, what time are you coming? And I'm like, for what? Like, for my birthday. And I'm like, legit. I forgot.
Oh, no.
But I that voice in my head, like, Mom? Like, we'll do it tomorrow.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
I flat out, I just told him, like, I forgot, bro. Like, we'll do it tomorrow. It's okay. Tell your teacher I forgot. You just, sometimes you're just like,
like, I don't know what else to do.
at the same time, do you know how many things I had to remember today? Like,
I was going to say, but for you, it's like, you can always just make it up tomorrow.
Yeah.
For this, it's over.
I'd be like, we're going to do our own graduation. Like, I'm smart, you guys. Like, we're going to go to the Playland and we're going to do our own graduation tomorrow. Like, that one's not even fun. Like, we're going to do something way, way funner. I promise it's better.
I don't know. That one
Cover
got
up, cover up. All you can.
Because I'm like, that would just be devastating.
It's terrible.
Just heartbreaking.
What are you going to, like, it's terrible.
I'd be like in tears myself going, I can't believe I forgot.
I
You
feel
know
like,
what I mean?
I don't know though, because like baseball stuff, so I'm like we can't make it. We had like 6 boys in baseball. Like I can't make it to every game. I'm sure all the moms are sitting there judging, but I'm sure that they're looking at me like they don't know how many kids I have.
Yeah.
It's like I show up to like 1 every 10 games, right? And then I for sure go to tournament games though.
Right.
Like I show up at the end, they're like, now
you care.
like yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's so fun. Yeah. Mom guilt is not
It's not necessary, y'all.
It's not it. It's the worst. I hate feeling it. I hate and because I think that's what helped me to stop doing it, mom shaming so much, is because I hate the feeling of like I screwed up and the guilt that comes with it. Like why would I on purpose put that onto another mom?
Yeah. Because it doesn't help.
Like,
It doesn't help
why?
the kids. It doesn't help the mama. It doesn't help the household. Like, no.
It's not good stuff. So, no more mom shaming, and don't feel guilty about it. You're doing great.